757 House Whisperer Show. Welcoming you to the greatest show on WNIS. I was dyslexic in third grade, so I may be coming back. So WNIS 790. We are having a fantastic time. You got me and Albin here tonight. He is the guy that knows anything about building and construction. I am your building science geek, talking to you all about anything having to do with moisture, heating and air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, crawl space encapsulation, spray foam insulation. I am the founder and owner of Worley's Home Service. I'm also the founder and co-host of the 757 House Whisperer Show. We have put this show together over a year ago now. It is hard to believe that last January we launched this show every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Wednesday nights to educate the 757 on building science, building problems, home problems, any issues with the home, from the gutters to the roof to the crawl space, to any problems that you are having.
To the creepy crawlies.
To the creepy crawlies, yes. And we have a woman on our show that has a license to kill. So we love having her on. She is a hoot. So, but yeah, I do want to remind you guys to call in 797. Hey, God, I am dyslexic today. 627-7979. 627-7979. I want you to call in early. Don't wait to the last minute. Like, Damon, how often does that happen? It happens every week. We get a couple callers with like 13 seconds left, and I'm like, I cannot possibly answer all these questions. So call in on the front of the hour so that we can get to all the questions. The more questions, the better. We are here to serve the public. We like to kind of call this a public service announcement show, where we're just providing education about houses and helping people figure out their house. Even if you're a DIY guy, that's fine. Call in, ask questions. We'd love to help you. My only hope is that most DIY guys, they want to work on their own house. They don't want to work on other people's houses, because once people find out you can do stuff, they want you to do everything for free. So our hope is that you just do it for your house and then say, hey, call Chuck, call Alvin.
Yeah.
I don't want to redo your bathroom. I just spent the last 9 months in my own bathroom fixing it. So although it looks beautiful, I don't want to do yours for free. So call a contractor. So but yeah, call in 627-7979. This is the 757 House Whisperer Show. Houses talk to me. So when you call in, there's nothing about a house that we cannot figure out. We have put together a group of contractors to answer any questions that could possibly come up about problems with your house. So we got trivia. We got trivia questions that
coffee giveaway.
We got coffee giveaways. Thank you, Michael, for prompting me. He is they always say, when you have a good radio show, you always got a backup guy that's helping you stay on track. So thank you, Mr. Michael Fitzpatrick.
Good team here.
And then Damon, he's okay. I mean, he keeps us on track most of the time. So, Fitzgerald, I have just been, I'll just call you Fitz. So anyway, thank you, Michael. Again, this is Chuck Worley. I own Worley's Home Services. You will see us with the diagonal Worleys and on the trucks with the green and orange trucks. You cannot miss them. I always ask people when I walk into a room and I'm talking to people, I say, man, has anybody not seen my truck? And normally I'll have 5 or 6 people that said, yeah, I haven't seen one of your trucks, which, that just shocks me. It's, Damon, how many trucks do you literally see a day? And you live in Carolina. So,
at least a few, especially when I pull into the station, but they're hard to miss. Yeah. Especially
a lot of times we'll show up on a house and we're coming in, to knock it out, man. We just did a big geothermal job the other day. Most of you guys know we bought Jake Gildersleeve's business, and he works for us now. And he's trying to train all these young bucks on how to do well drilling and, pumps and well. It's a whole new business. It's fantastic. But we had 3 guys on the wells. We had 3 guys in the houses. We had like 5, 6 trucks roll up on this house. And this lady's like, well, y'all said you were going to get it done. I believe you. So it's nice to have a company with capacity. I've worked, when I first started in 2001, I had 1 guy and me, and it would take us, a week to do a change out, a week to do 2 weeks, sometimes to do a duct system, because we just didn't have capacity. So it's nice when you call the company, we got the capacity to do it. We're not a franchise. We're homegrown. I grew up in Norfolk, went to St. Pius, Norfolk Catholic, Norfolk State for a while, and then ended up graduating from the apprentice school at Newport News Shipyard. Both my kids went to TAB, HRA. So we're homegrown company. My son is 30. He runs the ops, the management. Anybody that knows me knows that they don't want me in the financials and the operations and the management and all that, because I suck at that, right? So hire around the things that you aren't are not your strengths. Hire people that are smarter than you. So, but yeah, so that's me. I'm going to we already kind of talked about Cindy, so I'm going to continue to introduce Cindy. Cindy is the only woman with a license to kill. She will kill any animal that you do not want in your house. And exterminate them, get rid of them.
If you got cats or dogs you don't like, I don't think she's going to help you. She's not going to do that. Or husbands.
So she's not going to do that either. So, but Cindy Rawl, she owns Alpha Pest Solutions. She is fantastic. We've been friends for years and years. And I was telling her about the show, and she raised her hands like, heck yeah, I'd love to do that. She loves serving the public. She loves helping people. And let me tell you something. She is not scared of anything. She will jump in a crawl space in 13 seconds flat. In fact, I went out on a job site with her, and I got to tell you, the hole was a little tight. And so I looked at it. Next thing I know, she got her coveralls, and she's like diving in head first under the house. I was like, well, that didn't make me feel like a man.
Yeah, she feels right at home going underneath there.
So yeah, she is awesome. We love some Cindy Ross. She is great. So I will introduce Justin with CVP Windows and Doors. Me and Mike have been friends for, gosh, I'd hate to admit, probably close to 40 some years. Chase is 30, so I knew him before Chase was born. So it's quite a few years. So he's like Uncle Mike to my son Chase. So, but he is fantastic. There's nothing about construction that he doesn't know. He's been around it all. But windows, doors, they just did my house. I will tell you, I know a ton of window guys and ton of door guys, and he was the only phone call that I made. So I knew he was going to treat me right. So, or I'll kick his butt, right? Go ahead. You want to introduce yourself, Mr. Albin?
My name is Albin. I'm with Albin Co.
627-7979.
Yeah, please
call in while we're introducing ourselves. Call in and give you time to get a question in, and then I'm gonna work on the trivia calls while he's introducing himself. But 627-7979. Call in any question about your house. You cannot stump us.
Yeah, so the lines are open. Give us a call. So my name is Albin with Albin Co. We specialize in remodels, and right now it seems like everybody wants a price on a kitchen. So we're hitting kitchens pretty hard. If you got big hopes and dreams for this this great weather window that we have to do some fantastic stuff with your house, we'd like to help you, whether it be a deck, an addition, a remodel, whether it be a kitchen or a bathroom, we'd love to help you. So I also like to introduce Jack Keller with Legacy Painting. He's not here tonight, but he's our resident painter. Great, sharp guy that knows a lot about interior, exterior painting, and he also does a great job with prepping. So he'll help you with any drywall cracks, nicks, dings, dents, whatever you have. Get everything prepped right, and then come in and with his team and knock out whether it be you have 2 or 3 rooms or a whole house or an exterior. He also we were heavy talking about decks last week, and so he'll help you with any staining or anything like that you might have. And I think that covers it all. That's everybody that we need.
So I'll remind you again, 627-7979. Call in any question There's no such thing as a dumb question about a house, because a house is a system. It all works together. The roof lines up. I always trying to explain the science of a house is, we have this roof that is looks like a triangle on top of your house, and you're like, well, why do you make a roof line that looks like this? Well, that's of course to shed water. But then when you do that, you have this attic space that you create inside your house that is this big old heat source. So it's 150 degrees in the attic. You're like, well, that's dumb. Now we got to oversize the air conditioner to overcome that hot attic in the house, right? So everything kind of affects everything else, which is why I kind of came up with the 757 House Whisperers show, is that kind of combining trades and answering questions from, all right, well, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is why we're doing it this way. And like kind of have tradesmen that respect each other and answer questions and kind of line up with the homeowner on, hey, why do we do this? All right, well, why do we want to replace the windows? Well, that will actually help us decrease the air conditioning size. Well,
yeah, so we got complementary.
You got complementary
skills here.
So spray foaming. Why in the world would you spray foam? Well, because I want to heat my house with a toaster. It's a lot cheaper than heating my house with a heat pump, right? So spray foam it. It is just extremely efficient. And so kind of why I put this team together, and you'll notice that we gel really, really well. We are most of us have been friends for 20 years. It's been a long time. Like I said, we're not as long in the tooth as Michael Davenport, but we're right behind him now. We are running.
Well, ratio wise, we're catching up.
Yeah,
right?
we never want to catch him because that means he's not adding on, right? So, but hey, I want to do the trivia questions. I want to remind you guys, anybody that calls in gets a free coffee on us. We will send you a gift certificate and a couple of gift cards and stuff like that. So the question is for today, who surrendered the Confederate on today's date a really long time ago? For some reason, I don't have that date in history, but who surrendered today in Northern Virginia? I'm going to make this really easy. Ending the Civil War. So most people, I think, can just easily guess that. But call in, get your free coffee. If you got any questions about your house, I would love to help you. The second one is what big group, like famous, like Elvis level type of group, broke up in 1970? That one's a little bit harder. But what big, famous, crazy fans broke up? The official breakup was in 1970. Y'all got to call in and tell us who that was. And remember, 627-7979. Call in with any questions about your house, problems with your house, from pest control to heating and air conditioning to roofing to ventilation to heating and air conditioning to bathroom remodels to kitchen remodels. Anything you want to call in and ask questions about, we have the answers. You call in, we got the answers. So, Albin, why don't you tell them a little bit about all the things that you do, because you have probably the biggest span of items that you
so as a Class A contractor, we have to cover a lot of territory when it comes to construction. So
let's go over Class A contractor. What does that mean?
So
like B, C,
so if you're doing small stuff, you would be considered a handyman. I believe there might even be a license for handyman.
It's a C license.
So a C license.
So it's A, B, or C.
Yeah.
license.
So I've had my A license since 1999. So
You're old.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as I went for my contractor's license, I just said, well, we cover so much. Let me just get the Class A. And then of course we obviously have to keep up with a lot as far as continuing
Yep.
education and stuff like that. So I don't know a lot about the B's and C's. I know there's actually dollar limits that
I
you
believe
have
it's
to.
750,000 or below a year. I think the biggest job that they can do is 10,000 or like 99.99. You can't do a job over 10 grand. So I've run into this problem before. Someone sells a $12,000 job and they sell them two jobs, one for 2 grand and one for 9,900. There's a reason they're doing that, because they're breaking the rules, and that is illegal. So if you've ever had anybody try and do that, you need to, there's a reason Class A license is harder to get than Class B. So I will tell you this, if financials are really important on getting a Class A. So, I mean, you've got to have, what is it, $50,000, $60,000 in physical assets. You have to have I believe a place of business, like you have to have a office. I mean, there's so many reasons to hire a Class A contractor. They have a recovery fund, if you're, through the state, that, for contractors that don't do a good job. There's so many reasons to go with a contractor that has a great reputation. That, I mean, nowadays we didn't have Google 20 years ago now, right? So we have Google reviews, we got Facebook reviews, we got all this stuff available to us, so to protect the homeowners. I love the fact that everybody is a Class A contractor just to protect the public.
Yeah, and so as a Class A contractor, we can do both commercial and residential. We actually, I believe there's a classification only for RBC. We have both the CBC and
which
RBC.
is residential building contractor.
Yeah,
and CBC
is which is
commercial business.
Yeah, so we have both the CBC and the RBC designation for our Class A. So we do both commercial, residential. We specialize in renovations. We've done fire restorations. We've done water damage restoration. Water damage is a huge one here because, I mean, air conditioners could leak. You get a condensation trap. Just one the other day we did. A guy called me on Sunday, said, look, my ceiling fell in because of a condensate line on an AC unit. And so I had to go out there. Basically, his whole ceiling was falling in. So he turned off his unit because, well, one, the unit was leaking from the condensate line. Two, he would be basically cooling his attic, which is, you said, 100 degrees. That's like basically throwing your money to the wind. And so we went in there and we, in short order, put the ceiling back together. And so we also do decks. We'll come out and help you with any type of maybe landscaping that you might have, as far as like maybe you've got some water issues. We talk about it heavily, where you may need to figure out how to get water to run off of your property. And then we also deal a lot with bathroom renovations, tile work. And I mean, we could get into the details. You got trim, and we're dealing with the drywall, and we're dealing with electrical and plumbing and HVAC. We're coordinating all that. So we would be calling Chuck for those and making sure that he come out at the right time to help us with any of the builds that we're doing or renovations. So, hey, call us right now, 757-627-7979. We'd like to hear from you. Give us, maybe you can call in about the some type of problem you're having with the weather changing, the rapid weather changing we have, or some type of critter that's coming into your house. But we'd like to hear from you. But I think we got to go to our break right now.
We do. It's we got 1 minute. So I'm going to say, what huge fan band broke up in 1970? And then who surrendered the rebel forces and the Union to, well, I'm not going to go that far into detail. So, but I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. So we got somebody call in I'll give you a hint. It was in Northern Virginia. But who surrendered? I think that's an easy one.
Interesting.
I'm trying to give everybody an easy one tonight. So 757 627-7979. Call in, ask any questions about the house, and we will answer. The 757 House Whisperer Show. Thank you.
Looking to hear from you.
Whisperers Show. This is Chuck Worley. I'm here tonight with Mr. Albin. We are looking to help you guys figure out problems in your house. We've got some trivia questions. We've got some, you guys call in and ask questions about problems with your house, and we will help you figure out the problems in your house. So I want to, while we're introducing everybody, all of our sponsors for the show, I want you guys to call in 627-7979. I am Chuck Worley. I own Worley's Home Services. I am the founder and host of the 757 House Whisperer Show, as well as the founder of Worley's Home Services. We do heating and air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, crawl space encapsulation, spray foam insulation. There's really not much that I don't know about a house. I always say that houses talk to me. So I get jokes all the time. People calling into Worley's saying, I need to talk to the guy that houses talk to. One of the girls in the office told me that yesterday. Hey, some guy just called in and said he wants to talk to the guy that houses talk to. So anyway, y'all are very funny. I'm not sure she understood exactly.
It might have been a house that was calling in.
It could have been. It could have been a house. Hey, my owner has no idea what's going on. You need to talk to him. So I am I want to introduce Michael Davenport with CVP Windows and Doors. He has been a friend of mine for 30 some years, and he is the expert when it comes to windows installation. You can buy their windows and install them yourselves if you wanted to. Another nightmare in your life. Installing a window is not fun.
Or if you're a contractor, you can.
Or if you're a contractor, yeah, he sells to big builders.
I've been buying from him since 2000.
Have you really?
Yeah,
that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, and the coolest part about their company is that they actually build the product here in Newport News. So it's not ever in China getting made by kids under 15. It's actually in a place in Newport News, Virginia. They make it here, and it's a fantastic.
Yeah, if you ever want to see a modern window manufacturing thing, it's like really cool.
If you're really, and he invites customers there all the time. He's always telling me, yeah, I'm meeting a customer. They want to see the plant, which I just think is really cool that you can go over and see how they're actually made. So I will introduce Cindy Raw with Alpha Pest Solutions, the only woman you know with a license to kill. She is not afraid, and she gives free crawl space inspections, and that is Alpha Pest Solutions. And then, go ahead, Albin.
Yeah, so my name is Albin. I'm with Albin Co. We are a Class A licensed and insured contractor. We specialize in remodels, whether it be your kitchen, your bath, or we can also do new home construction and additions. And so I'd like to also introduce to you Jack Keller with Legacy Painting. He specializes in your paint needs. He'll do interior, exterior. He doesn't have to be in an entire house. He can do new home construction if you'd like. And then the bonus on top of that, he'll come in and help with any kind of little cracks and dings and dents and all that. So
when really does a great job.
Yeah, you don't have to call anybody to help
Julie and I today. Actually, he's knocking something out.
Very good. So yeah, if you got like a house and you're like, well, it's just not ready for paint. Well, he could get it ready for paint and paint it for you. So
yeah, that way one contractor, less headaches, right? So he's doing we have a little office over here that we're renting out that had a couple holes. I didn't want to bring a sheetrock crew in or whatever. He went out and knocked out the little dings in the sheetrock, and some of them were like dings like a foot was through it. But I don't know
yours, right?
No, I have no idea what the hell they were doing in that office, but had butt prints, like somebody had gotten a fight in there or something. I don't know, but I was renting it out to somebody else. So anyway, he went in, sheetrocked everything. They're sheetrocked yesterday, and I believe they're painting today, and flooring is going in tomorrow. So
we got a question here.
Yes, so let's go to David in Suffolk.
Hey, David.
Hey,
Doing great.
Hey, so quick about hardwood floor. I've got it in the house that we bought a couple of years ago, and it doesn't look like it's sealed or anything, but I've never owned hardwood floor before, so I'm just curious. What do you need to do to maintain it? Because I've noticed some of the knots are starting to splinter and maybe a little chip here and there.
Well,
I'll take your answer off the air.
Say that again.
I said I'll take your answer off the air.
Is it a crawl space? Like, is there a crawl space underneath?
There is, yeah, there is.
Okay, yeah. Hold on for just 1 second. Let me ask a few more questions. So, the before you jump off, So, the questions are like, are there any whoop-de-whoops? And when I say whoop-de-whoops, like, is it flat surface, or have you noticed any kind of buckling at all?
Cupping or buckling?
Because I mean, you said splintering, so that's making me think maybe the floor is buckling a little bit and causing the wood to split.
There's no buckling yet. It's I think the house was built in 2018 or 19 time frame, but no buckling. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. You know, the house is starting to settle a little bit. We live out in Suffolk where there's a high water table. But
is it oak?
No.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you.
Do you know if it's actually a veneer or solid oak all the way through?
It's not veneer. It's actually all the way through.
Okay. That's good. That's a good product for 2018. I mean, that's normally you'll see the beautiful wood floors in the 1960s.
I guess they don't call it veneer. They call it engineered wood.
What do they call it? The tongue and groove or whatever.
You got your solid oak tongue and groove, and now you got your engineered wood products, which would be a veneered product on top of some other type of product. So yeah, well, thanks for calling in. So
that's a great question.
So, you know, Chuck was kind of going along the line of whether or not you got some moisture mitigation problems coming up through, you know, like just moisture or humidity coming up through the floor.
Because we see that all the time. I mean, people will call us, why is my floor after 30 years, all of a sudden it just started buckling? You could have a water leak under the house. We tell people all the time, moisture is the death of a house. Like nothing would kill a house faster than wood. We have 100-year-old houses with dry wood and perfect wood. And then right next door, they got a house that's 50 years younger, had a water leak underneath the house or a flood. They never pulled the water out of the crawl space. And their wood is rotting out. They got sagging joists. They got all this stuff. So wood, once it gets wet or starts getting damp, that is what kills floors. That's what kills joists. That's what kills, rafters. I mean, we've seen sweating rafters. I mean, it's that is the death of a house is moisture.
It can be the death of a floor too. So, and that's obviously part of a house, but we'll probably just ask you, David, to maybe shoot us some pictures at the 955-9415 number. I'd like to see what's going on there. Cause when you say splintering, I got a lot of things that's going through my head. And I just, right off the top of my head, I was thinking, well, insects, maybe you got something that's eaten away at it and deteriorated the actual integrity of the product, and it's starting to splinter. But most of the time when I see hardwood floors, I'm just seeing deep gouges and scratches and worn out spots. So when you say splintering, I'm like, man, that takes a lot for oak to splinter. And I'm just like, I'm not sure what I'm I can't see it in my head. So
you may want to just get an inspection, get Cindy out there to do a crawl space inspection just to make sure there's no moisture stuff going on over there, or there's any varmints. I mean, ants. I mean, not ants. I'm sorry, varmints, termites.
There's definitely upkeep for that type floor though. So, you know, if you said you just moved in, maybe it hasn't been coated recently. Maybe there's some reason that the actual wear layer has gone away. So you would definitely want to consider resurface, basically come in, have somebody with a drum sander, drum sand it down, and then reapply some protective layers. They got some really strong hard, very hard coatings that you can put on that stuff to give it a very long life. But you definitely want to get rid of. You don't want splinters in your feet. That's just not going to feel good. So
yeah, it's are they big, like splintering? Is it just in one area?
I think he's off air.
Oh, is he off air?
Yeah,
okay.
So.
Yeah, if it's I mean, if you have a area like one corner of the house or something, I'm thinking that might be just a moisture issue, just that one part of the house. But if it's the whole house, I mean, 2018 is what, 8 years, 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years. So
6
coming
years.
up on, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of a young house, but as we all know, houses are not built today like they were built 50, 60 years ago. So there's not a lot of high quality products anymore like there used to be, right? I mean, they don't make cars like they used to with sheet metal. And everything is just not built the way it used to be.
Talking about floors, though, I would say those who are, and this is a big DIYer, when you're going out there and you're going to knock out the first floor, I mean, this may be your first time you've looked at a bunch of YouTubes or whatever. Go for name brands. Be sure that there's only 3 or 4 different click lock systems out there. They all are proprietary. Somebody designed those. They actually patented them. And then they're leased out to everybody else. They got royalty fees on all those. But what I like to do is go with the name brands, look at the wear layers, make sure they've got, I mean, most of the time you go to maybe Floor and Decor, they got a nice little sheet there that tells you the wear layers, which one's got the better wear layers. I always go for waterproof. If it's not waterproof, I don't want to put it down because even in non-water areas like, non-kitchens, non-bathrooms, you're going to have water spills. You're going to have issues. And I just don't see why anybody would want to put anything down other than waterproof if you're going to go with the CV, the custom vinyl planks. So make sure it's waterproof, not water resistant. And, go with the ones with the padding on it. You don't want to get anything that's not, it's just, I just feel better about that product. It actually is just fantastic to go with that. But you want to make sure that and I don't recommend going. Maybe in some pinches this works, but you just don't want to go to some of these places and get their second hands and say, I'm just going to put this down. If it's your forever home and you use that, you're not sure if the warranty's on it, and something breaks and you're one box short. This is where it's a gotcha. You're one box short and you need another box. And it's like, well, those are the last 3 boxes. Now you're actually scarring the internet, trying to find one more box to finish out a room where you saved, $5 per box or whatever. So when you're in your forever home, consider that. Make sure you buy a couple extra boxes and have them on hand and maybe fix that one problem. So,
and I'll say something about Albin. He was great about meeting Julie and I at one of his contractor places that he buys flooring and tile and all that stuff. And he kind of walked us through it. And I know a lot about construction, but I don't know everything about every type of floor or every type of tile. He was able to guide us kind of through, okay, yeah, this is great. It's just not waterproof. And do you really want that in your kitchen? So I'm not a brain surgeon, but I'm pretty smart when it comes to moisture. I'm like, yeah, I probably don't want that in my kitchen because there's water there. So it was cool for him to kind of walk us through the project to kind of lead us towards, okay, it's real important for Julie to get the right color, but at the same time, the right product. And if you don't get the right product, it's going to cost you more down the road if you don't get the right product. So make sure you have the right contractor first. You pick the contractor, then the project, right? So,
and going on, you're talking about floors, just another little thing for DIYers. When you're picking out your tile, and this is something when I'm going to walk a customer into Floor and Decor or some other tile and floor place, I bring it to their attention that not every tile is created equally. You've got tile that are made for walls, and you have tile that's made for floor and walls, or tiles that are maybe just made for floors. You want to make sure that you get the right tile for the right application or you'll regret it down the road. So if you're planning your next DIY project, make sure that you're picking out tile that is made for the traffic that you are intending it for. So whether it be, I'm going to do a floor, well, then get floor tile. I'm going to do a wall. Well, then you could put wall tile on a floor, or you could go with the same design and get something that's only designed for walls and maybe save a little bit of money. So
yeah, heck yeah.
Something to
Because
consider.
you don't want to walk on a wall tile.
No,
So
don't want to do that.
yeah,
So that would
be,
and you might,
which makes sense to people, right?
And it
the
may
wall is made cheaper and not as durable probably as the one that was on the floor that's going to have a 300-pound guy walking across.
Well, the other thing is it may not be anything about durability, but everything about slip surface. Like it may be just as durable, but the next time you put a little bit of water on it, you might be flat on your back. So you just want to be careful with that. I got a question for you.
Okay.
This is about air conditioning. So as we go through this weird stage that we have in Virginia with moving back between hot and cold has come to my attention, and is when units go out, do you see most of the time your upstairs unit fails? Like if you have a multi-zone house with multiple systems, not zoned systems, but multiple systems creating the zones, which is going to fail first? If you were going to gamble on it and say, okay, I'm going to tell you exactly which unit's going to fail, would it be your downstairs unit or your upstairs unit?
I would put my money on the upstairs unit because the air conditioner is going to be running more than it will probably. I mean, we only get
more in the
cold.
summer. Yeah. We don't hit as many cold
so
months.
The heat pump's going to be running in the winter, but it's not going to be running like the summer.
It's going to be humming in the summer, huh?
Humming in the summer.
So it sees probably what 80%
calls
of the
from
load.
A neighbor about a pop compressor. You know, it's
coming, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is coming. So
you were fixing mostly downstairs units in the winter, and you're fixing upstairs units in the summer, huh?
Yeah, that is right. So the summertime, it's normally the upstairs unit that goes first. So. But yeah, so you definitely want to. I know I used to have a commercial on about bump your heat, but it might be a good idea to just bump your air conditioner the next 70-degree day, 69-degree day, and just bump that thing and make sure that compressor is running. Make sure you got air conditioning coming out.
Great advice.
Wait. Do not wait. All right, you are hearing it from the horse's mouth.
That's a great little tip there.
Bump your air conditioner.
Give it a test run.
Just let her run 5, 10, 15 minutes. It's 68 outside, 70 degrees outside. Do not wait until it's 87 degrees when 650 people are calling me in the first 4 minutes. So call now, make sure it's running, and that gives me time to get out there before the mad rush and everything gets crazy and the summer, because the summer's coming. It's coming. I hate to tell you, it is April 9th. Easter's coming, and it's coming. Do not wait on the air conditioner. I know some people, like during the wintertime, it's the funniest because they're just like, nope, I ain't turning it on. I'm holding out. It's only 42. I'm not turning the heat on. David's smiling because I know he's one of those guys, but he's got a wood fireplace, so he cheats. So I know he turns a wood fireplace on before the heat. So, but a lot of people don't have that, so they just, all right, I'm holding out. And then all of a sudden it's 12 degrees outside and, it's everybody and their brother's busy and you got to wait a couple of days for somebody to get out.
I got another
call now. Call Worley's or 955-9415. Text me and I'll get you on the schedule. So before it gets crazy.
I got another question. Maybe we can finish it up before the end of the show. What are you seeing a lot more people, or are you putting in just whole home dehumidifiers that complement the units? And what is the advantages of that?
So great question. We live in an area called Tide Water, right? So very moisture intense area. So this place compared to up north, there is no moisture, New York and Canada, like up north, Maine, there's not the moisture levels that we have in this area. Typically, our air conditioners, when we do CAD drawings and load calculations and all that stuff, we figure in, that's why we figure the max capacity for the unit is not, the temperature is not for 106 to get air conditioning to cool it down to 70 at 106 degrees. It's more like 95 outside, 75 inside, right? So, because that's 90% of our load. The problem is if we size it for 106, your unit is going to be oversized 90% of the time, and it's going to do what's called short cycling, and it's never going to pull the humidity out of the house because it's going to cool down so fast and cut off. You're never, ever going to be comfortable in your house. So great question, Albin. But yeah, so we want to make sure that the system is sized properly for this area, but not oversize it for this area. So, but yeah, that's kind of how we're doing it. But please bump your air conditioner before it gets hot. Do not wait till July 4th weekend. I had a friend of mine years ago. He goes, Chuck, I'm looking at his unit. It's 12, 14 years old. It's on its last leg. We've already fixed it 3 times. I'm like, dude, don't spend another dime on this thing. It's just crazy. He goes, well, how do I know how much longer I can guarantee to get out of this thing? And I said, when's the next? He goes, when can you tell me this thing is going to break? I said, when's the next time your mother-in-law is coming into town?
As soon as she shows up, it's going to break, right?
Dude, I promise you that unit will run
in the middle of the night.
And it will run until your mother-in-law comes to visit, and that crap is going to break. It's guaranteed. That and July 4th, when you got 16 people over at your house in the middle of the day, and you knew you should have replaced it a month ago, and they're calling me July 4th at 7 a.m. Hey, can you replace this thing before my party gets here at 4 o'clock? Like, what in the world?
Look at your watch. Time of death. Write it down.
It's just not going to happen, So get prepared. Summer's coming. Please call Worley's Home Services. Call 955-9415. Leave a message or text us, and I will make sure we get somebody over there in the next week or so, or this week. So before the summer is coming. So, but yeah, sorry I missed, I guess, the last week or so. I was off getting married. So some of y'all have heard through the grapevine that God has sent me an angel, Miss Julie Bartley, and we got married about a month ago. So on her birthday. So that was for me though. Her birthday.
Congratulations.
Married on her birthday is for me. So I only had one date that I can't forget. That's Julie Day. We call that Julie Day. So, but anyway, I wanted to thank her tonight for coming and helping us with this soundboard.
Well, everybody, thanks for calling or for listening in, and those that called in, and we really look forward to next week.
Yep. Call in 955-9415. You can text us all week, call us all week, 955-9415, or the 757housewhisperer.com. Call us.
The preceding program was sponsored and paid for by Worley Home Services, who's entirely responsible for its content.